13 attributes that we're going to talk about, okay? And we have 4 weeks to do the 13 attributes. Some will take shorter, some will take longer. Try and talk louder, maybe. So basically, first I want to introduce in general about the book and the, it's hard to hear. Do you want to sit next to me?
No, that's all right. It's just like,
It's hard to hear. It's hard to hear. It's probably somebody's in there. Probably in there. I know it's hard. What, the heat? The noise. So, yeah. Judy, can we move over? Thank you. Did you make all the other?
Yes.
Wow, awesome.
then this can go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, right
But
here.
you can from the state Tzfat directly.
Yes.
So did I, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, not that.
Kitchen soul building.
Wow.
Yeah. Just over it. I need a new apartment. Starting January. So if anybody here, so
Okay.
you know.
Okay, so
what I can tell you about apartments.
okay. So first I want to give a general introduction to the book and to who wrote the book, and then there's Nina, and then there's then we'll go inside. You know, a lot of times when I go to a class, I'm like, when are they going inside? I just want to go inside already.
It's good because we don't start from the school or the cemetery.
From the what? Right. Well, no, I thought maybe we could do like a field trip. We could do our seal. Okay. Yeah. So first of all, you should know. Maybe there could be a lot of things that you know anyways, but I just want to so we're all on the same page. Is we're not doing Tomer Devorah, the whole book. We're doing the first chapter. Okay, and a lot of people, like this new book came out and it's on the first chapter, even though it says Tomer Devorah, it's not the whole Tomer Devorah, it's the first chapter. The chapter is it's very famous. It's a 13 meters of Rachamim, which anyone, sometimes, do you know people?
I don't know speaking Hebrew very well, but I know the terms.
Okay, so if I say something, I try to translate as I go, something that does obviously.
If I don't know, I'll ask.
Okay, good. Okay, so first of all, I have to tell you that Shabbos, my Yetzer Hara got to me, and I was like, I didn't give over the Ramak. We're talking about the Ramak. We're talking about, he was a king and also Nigla in the rebellion to Torah and also in Kabbalah. Like he was big, you know, and I'm like, I've been like preparing to bury him from the Shabbos. Like there's so much information, which I'd rather give less information and that we're going to go home with something and you're going to have homework and you're going to come back and say, this is what I did. Okay, because what he says is when something comes up, you have there's 13 tools. Let's call them 13 tools, right? These 13 attributes are like, oh, I want this situation calls for this attribute. Oh, this is, you know, all this. It's a very, very, very practical class. Very practical. The Yud Yom of 13 attributes. Okay, so first of all, let's talk a little bit about the Ramak. This is the book I'm using mostly. And then there's another book that came out, so of course I got it. It's also it's the same thing. Hello, Shira. Please. So which one? Oh, this one. Oh, this one. Okay. So let's talk about Rav Moshe Cardavero. He's called the Ramak, right? That's the short word for him. So that's what we're saying. His name is Moshe Cardavero. He's buried right here in Tzfat. And you're going to hear these names. Usually when I write in my books, I write in pencil. But this, as you see, I wrote in pen, in purple, because the names of the people that were in his circle are unbelievable. You know, like we're talking about the giants. Yeah. Okay, so
because we live in Tzfat.
How that we live in
This is
Tzfat.
special connection.
100%. Yeah. Right. They're not sure if he was born here. Yeah, it's a big school, it's a big marriage, and it's very exciting. I'm very excited. So they're not sure if he was born in Tzfat, but they know he lived most of his life in Tzfat. And who was he a student of? Rav Moshe Cardavero, who wrote the Shulchan Aruch. Like everything, like I said, all his chavusas, you know, or these wow. So like I said before you came, he was big and also the revealed part of Torah and in the secret. Okay, so he learned under Rav Moshe Cardavero. He's also buried here, right? And he became a rabbi. I got a smicha when he was 18 by Rav Devorah, who also has a shul over here. I'm not quite sure if he's buried here or not, probably, but I'm not sure. But definitely has a shul there, Rav. And at 20, he became a student of his brother-in-law, the Macabbi, who's also buried here, who wrote Macabbi. So these are all like yeah, these are his peers. These are his the people he hung out with. So when you think about that, people challenge each other, right? So if he said something, whatever. This is like it, right? And then he has many famous students. I'm not mentioning all of them, but just one like Rav Vital, who we know was later on the main student of the RE. And a lot of people talk about the Ramak's funeral, how the RE gave the eulogy. And basically he said that the Ramak died only because Adam brought death into the world. Like basically, there was no sin. There was nothing that the angel of death could have taken. Completely pure. Yeah. He wrote a lot of different things, and one of which is the Devorah. And basically, the Devorah is based on a command in the Torah, in Devorah, that says you should go in his ways. Okay, and you should go in his ways. That's from the Torah. You should go in his ways. And the Medrash on that says, just like Hashem is compassionate, you're supposed to be compassionate. Just like Hashem is righteous, we're supposed to be righteous. Just like Hashem is gracious, we're supposed to be gracious. So there's a mitzvah in the Torah to emulate Hashem, which we're gonna talk about a lot, because that's the whole point. That's the whole point, and that's what we're doing before Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. We're learning how to emulate Hashem in 13 different ways. Okay. So the Shlam Kodesh, the Shlam is buried in Devorah. He says that everybody should be learning this during the 10 days of repentance. Between this, Devorah, and the 10 days of repentance, between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And Rav Salanter, the Musar movement, said also that this is the time everybody should be learning Devorah. Like I've talked to different friends, and they're like, oh yeah, like one friend said, oh, do you know about this book? Like people do that. Now they start learning Devorah. It's a custom for sure. They're both Devorah. They're just different. editions. Yeah, yeah. And anyone who has this one,
Okay.
yeah, you can bring it because we're going to read from it in English.
Okay.
Okay, good. That's one here. So I just want to tell you that the notes in the back are great.
Can I borrow it?
Yeah, maybe
Can you
bring
bring
it.
it anyway?
So the notes,
I
I was telling you in the beginning, my husband's worried about you.
Don't worry about it.
I'll tell them that.
I said worry.
Okay. So the notes, okay. So the notes in the back are very, very good. Sometimes notes in the back of the book are references, who wrote it, where it's from, but these notes explain things. I have like notes, I have like all of, look at this. Because I didn't know, I learned this a few times before I looked at it. Like I said, I thought the notes were just gonna be like, but they're not, they're very, very good. So when you review it, go to the notes, okay?
Especially now.
Yeah, no, I'm saying when you're learning this, you should learn the notes because
This is what Rav Cardavero himself wrote it?
we
or
didn't get to
design?
that. Yes.
Design.
Right, it says Pergushon, that's exactly, that's a very good point. Okay, I'm gonna say, can you hear?
Another guy?
Okay, so basically, so now we're gonna start. Okay, just a second, I think there was something here also that he said before. See all my different colors over here. I'm like, oh, I have to say this, I have to say this. It's just he took
He just compiled.
not, yeah. I looked.
I think compiled it.
Yeah. Shmuel Meir Riachi. Yeah,
He
okay.
compiled them.
Okay, so he says here the underlying theme is the premise that when a person has been offended or harmed and utilizes one of these attributes to overcome his anger and act mercifully towards the offender, this brings a corresponding flow of blessing from heaven. In English, Mida Keneged Mida. Whatever we do here, you know, you ever hear this expression? I love it. I can't even say it. It's if there's an arousal from below, it brings an arousal from above. So at the end of the day, you're doing yourself a favor. You think you're forgiving them and you're doing them a favor. You're really doing your both a favor. So this is what we're doing. This is really, really what we're doing. We're bringing bracha onto ourselves. And this is the time when we want to do this, right? Before Elul, during Elul, before the Yom Adin, we want lots of brachas coming our way, right? So this is the Ramak. The Ramak himself says, the split of 13 attributes is such that in the same way a person acts here below, he merits opening the channels to which attributes descend from above. Precisely as he behaved, he received the same flow from above, causing that same attribute to shine into the world. It's a heck, you know? Doesn't that sound like, wow, okay, right. Yeah, exactly, good, okay. Now, I said we're gonna go in, but we have to say a few more things, okay? One thing is there's two, just in case you get confused, there's two Yud Gimel Midos of Rachamim. There's two sets of the 13 attributes of worship. Okay, one of them is, I should say the first one, because the first one is in Shmos, and it starts Hashem, Kel Rachum. Okay, we don't need to go into it because we don't read that right now. But it was said when the Jews sinned the calf. So Hashem was like, not Hashem, sorry. Moshe Rabbeinu was like, this is not good. Like, this is bad. And Hashem said, no, there's a thing called tshuva, and I will teach you this sabula. I don't know if that's the right word. I will teach you these 13 midos of Rachamim. Teach this to the Jewish people, and this is how I will forgive them. Okay, and that is, so after Moshe Rabbeinu broke the post, Hashem taught him these 13. Now there's another 13, which is what we're learning, which is written in Micha. And it's Micha, yeah, it's the Navi. And it's a song of praise. And the Zohar says that these are on the higher level, which is very interesting. Usually, it's the Chumash is higher than the Navi, but not in this case. No, but if you look in your Machzor, yes. If you look in your Machzor, if you have your Machzor around, anyways, you can get it out. Especially if you have the artful Machzor, you have it in the store. If you look at, yeah, in Tashlich. If you look in Tashlich, we say this in Tashlich, and you're going to say, oh, I saw that before that event. You're going to see it says the Yud Gimel Midos, and underneath there's some other words, and you didn't understand, so it corresponds. So yes, definitely, yes.
So
Yes.
when I read Torah for the first time in my lifetime, the price, I found this. I was so that has a certain attribute. I printed it on the red. If
Okay.
we put it on the table, so I look at it all the time because first time in my life.
This?
Certain attribute.
But which one? Oh, Hashem. Right. The only thing I know about, I should say, whatever, what I love about Hashem.
But first time you see my people like
Yeah.
when they children, they know you won't fight. But you like 45 and see that for the first time.
Yeah, it is wow. Yeah. So the reason it says Hashem, by the way, which is beautiful, like why does it have to say 12 twice? Is that Hashem is with you before the sin, Hashem is with you after the sin. Hashem knows we're gonna. Hashem is with you before the Avera, and Hashem is with you after. Hashem knows you're going to do an Avera, right? Hashem knows everything. So he doesn't just say, oh, forget it, I'm leaving. I'm not going to do. He knows you're going to do it. So it's very, very beautiful. It's very like heartwarming. Okay.
Especially when they sing it, they're like,
right. Well, we're going to talk about this for sure. So this is also said at the Haftorah on Shabbos Tshuva, and in the afternoon of Yom Kippur. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to start. We should just have these words go into our heart so that we really we're learning this so that it goes into our heart and that we can have more of us Hashem, and that we could really learn how to emulate Hashem and get from that and go into Tishrei with full of confidence of that we're doing Hashem's Tzfat, what He wants to do, and not what we want to do. And let Hashem have a Shana Tova. Right. Okay. So you have to understand that these people, like the Ramak, when they wrote things, every word is a reason they wrote it. We're not going to go through every word because we only have 4 weeks, but we're good. But I just is some amazing way to apply this way. Okay, so the first sentence I want to read in Hebrew, and then we're going to go to the English. We're going to translate it, but I just want to read the first sentence in Hebrew. Okay, the first sentence says, Hadam Ra'ui Shidameh Lekono V'Ashia B'Soda Tzura El Yona Shalom V'Demut. Demut. Okay, so it is translated. It says it's proper for man to emulate his creator, for then he will attain the secret of the supernal form in both image and likeness. Now, as you see, even the English is difficult. Like what? Which form? Which likeness? What supernal form?
Image and likeness.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Okay, so now we're gonna break it up. Okay. And if there's something that I don't mention, I'll say I don't know, or I'll look it up or something like that. Okay, so first of all, he starts it off with Ha'adam. Okay, then the man. But as we know, there's lots of words for a person. You didn't have to use Adam. You could have said Ish, you could have said whatever. So what does Adam? Now what do you think about
Adam?
Adam?
Adam is Adam himself.
Not here, everybody.
Why Adam, not Adam?
Oh, that I know. I don't know. Right. Okay, good. Humanity. Humanity. Right. So, what do you think of when you hear the word Adam? Right, no, what the Hebrew word, the Hebrew word that most people. Right, exactly. But that's Adamah. Right, that's what I always heard, that Adam comes from the word Adamah. But I never heard anything else except until here. Adamah also means Adamah. I will be like.
What is it?
I will be like. I will be similar.
Similar.
Yeah, because that's the whole point, that we're trying to be like the Shem. We're trying to emulate the Shem. So just the first word is like, oh my gosh. What?
Maybe it was made before that. It was like Hashem. Maybe there is something.
Oh, for sure. I love it. I love it.
Hashem.
The same. Yeah. To be like Hashem. Right. Right. Hashem. Very good. That's a chiddush. Right. Right. Beautiful. Okay. So when it says, I'm going to just go to the, when it says that man is proper for man to emulate his creator, this blew my mind, he says in the back. So when we think, oh, it's nice, this is a nice idea, right? Wrong. It's a positive mitzvah specific by Rambam. We are not just doing a nice thing for Elul. We're not just doing like good needles, which is great. But he's saying it's a positive mitzvah recorded by the Rambam. And people will, you'll knock people's socks off if you tell them. You know, I'm learning tomorrow, people go, that's nice. No, it's not nice. It's an obligation. It's an obligation to emulate the creator. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge, right? So then, okay. So now the next thing is, sorry?
This is your mission.
Our mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. To emulate our creator, right? And there's all these verses, like I said, in Devorah that says that you should to be like Hashem. Okay. And okay, so now the difference between image and likeness. Now there's so much written about this. Like I said, this is Kabbalah, and I'm not going into that because I'm not trying to go deep. I'm trying to go so that we can get through all 13 videos. And anyways, I'm not going to teach Kabbalah. Okay, so basically, and because we know Hashem said, like, it should not say Adam, but Salamenu, like, there's so we'll make man in our image and all that. I mean, you probably get books written just on that one. Okay, so basically, image means physical, and likeness means spiritual. Okay, so that's so Hashem. Yeah. It's, okay, excellent. Right. So just like, how does Hashem's hand do this? Hashem's eyes do that, right? What?
Hashem is there.
Well, sure.
Hashem presents himself to us because we cannot grasp him through the school.
Yeah, but basically, yes. But basically, it's called anthropology.
And mostly, I would say Hashem is the feeling because we have the senses, which eyes is a part of the hands, a part of the.
He has a whole chapter just on eyes. No, it's such a thing. Right, but he uses it to teach us. When he says the eyes of Hashem, yeah.
So he wants us
to relate to us.
To create like.
Right. But like then he says,
likeness, so we won't understand when Hashem's hand, we know like it's
right.
Yeah.
Well, no. I'm talking much more practical right now.
Not physical, but
right.
like
I'm talking physical right now. Like Rebbetzin probably said, what's different between the hand and the finger? Like this is like during the Haggadah. In the Haggadah, it says the Yad of Hashem, and this says Tzfat Elohim. What's the difference between the hand and the finger? The hand is like gross motor skills.
what?
It's like gross motor skills, like a big thing, and a finger is like picking up a needle. So Shem does like big things, like splitting the sea, and he does little things like for each, like for Doba Shaver. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. Right. So, yeah. Okay, so,
Image and like,
yeah.
in DNA, there is
Image, black is image.
the discovery sequence of the bridge between two strands of the DNA, and the sequence of every like image in DNA. There's two strands, and then there's a bridge. So every bridge has a sequence of you think yes that every
Right,
yes,
right,
yes,
right,
it has like 10 no 10 6 no 5 6 5 6
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah,
It
yeah,
has
yeah,
every
Right.
bridge has a sequence of elements or whatever like organic elements that represents full numbers that represent full letters.
Yeah, okay. You can look it up, Google it. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get, okay. So we said that it's proper for man's actions to imitate, it's proper that man's actions imitate the 13 supernal attributes of mercy. Now, it says the essential thing is the deed, right? Ikar is a miser. So it's very nice to think things and learn things and like, this is this and that's that. The main thing is to do. Some people get really carried away with all this like, wow, and it's in their head. Fine, if your neshama is drawn to that, but the main thing is what are you gonna do if somebody goes in front of you in the line in the supermarket? That's what it's talking about. And also it says that, Tehillim has incredible capacity. All you have to do is read it, not this. Not this, is you have to learn it, you have to know it, and at some point, he says that, so that when a situation comes up, you go, oh, I need attribute number 4 for this one. Oh, this one, whatever your mother-in-law, this calls for a number, first you have a tool, exactly, we have a tool chest. And we have a tool chest, and we have to figure out, is it a screwdriver this time, which screwdriver?
And it can be more than one.
As long as it could be, I mean, you go for it. I don't, but the important thing is that we're emulating Hashem. Hashem doesn't just stand on high, we're not, Jews don't go up to the Himalayas and go, we don't do that, we do. Okay?
Why is this proper? It's like a obligation.
Yeah, so English translations do sometimes have problems. Well, even in Hebrew it says Re'ui. Re'ui means proper, it doesn't say chiyuv.
It's very like modest.
Maybe, okay. It's very modest. Very.
Oh, he means it's common sense.
Oh, it's very.
Oh, I asked someone, but I'm so sorry. He meant that it's common sense.
Okay.
Because proper means
Listen,
common sense.
and maybe in this time, I was hanging out with the alphabets and the Cairo and alphabets and the, and we're kind of, for them, it was like a little bit different. Judy and I always make a joke, like, what did they do? Like, they did Borer on chocolates, like, what did they do, Anyways, okay, so,
They just have minds that that's also something that.
anyway, also they get judged much higher than we do. Okay, so I just want to read them in Hebrew so that maybe you'll, and one thing is like, if you want to do this, because you have the book, is to put commas, because I didn't know where they start, where they end. No, you have here the 13, here, no, in English, over here. You have the, oh yeah, so you did that in Hebrew, but not in the English. In the English, if you read the English, you're not even sure what is the attribute. You have this one?
We have several in both.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
They will contribute the Christ to store. Middles.
What?
Contribute middles.
The 13 needles. Yeah. The 13 needles, if you read, I'll read it to you, and it's hard to say, well, is this a needle? Where's the needle? Where's it start? Where's it end? So what did I do is I wrote pumps, okay? So first I'm gonna,
He's doing it. Here, using clapping everything.
oh, yeah, sure, yeah, right, okay, fine. What time is it?
Quarter to.
No, really? Okay. Okay, so you know what? Okay, we're gonna go into the, you could read it at home, what is it? The 13 meters in English and in Hebrew. I'm just gonna read it.
Yes,
Okay?
it was needles. You don't have the needles. There's no such thing.
That's how they translate it.
Yeah, but you don't, needles.
Yeah, okay, so the first meek el kamo. Okay, let's just go into the first one. Do you guys know, have you heard this before? Meek el kamocha, no say avon, over a pesha, the shade is makoso, la'ad apo, ikhabet hesehu, yeshut ikarenu, ikaravenu, ikboj avomzinu, atashlik, v'natul syan, kohata'am, titin emesiyanko, Pesel Avram, Hashem Ishbata Lamsenu, we make it. Okay, these are the 13. Yes. Who is God like you? Who pardons iniquity and forgives the transgressions? What's so hard to understand even in English? Who forgives the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? He does not maintain his anger forever, for he delights in kindness. He will again show us compassion. He will banish our iniquities, and he will pass all their sins in the depth of the sea. Right? Show faithfulness to Yaakov, kindness to Abraham, which you have sworn to our fathers from days before. Okay, now, okay, that's good. Okay, now we're going to go. This is all, we're inside now. Now we're going to do the first one. Okay, we'll see how many we get. Okay, the first attribute. Okay, the first attribute is called Mikal Kamocha. Okay, so sometimes it's like when you think of attributes, you think of, but these are a little bit more confusing because they're weird, like Mikal Kamocha, a little bit. Okay, so let's translate it as the tolerant king. Okay, that's how we're going to translate it. That's how we translate it. The tolerant king who bears insult in a manner beyond human understanding. And when I say beyond human understanding, I don't mean like it's like okay, but no, we're talking very, very practical here. Don't go off into, like, if you want to, you can. He goes into it. I read the whole book. With Torah time, Rabbi Gladstein, and he says, he goes, and if somebody says to you, did we skip the hard part? You're going to tell them no. When he goes into Kabbalah, but this part is very, very practical. So don't stay with me.
What is the English first?
Who is like you? Yeah, the tolerant king. Me, I don't know what really means who is like you. What does that mean? The tolerant king. Okay, tolerant, patient. Okay, we're gonna go into it.
Interesting that it's the first one is tolerant, but actually if you listen to the whole at 13, you can think of a loving parent.
For sure, for sure.
Even though they go,
Nobody gets that in
and
for sure. And we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about, like, I just heard this example for the third one of I'm going ahead about how when a baby makes all over themselves, and the mother goes coochie coochie and hugs and kisses with the cookie and everything, whatever. Okay, so sure. Okay, so basically what it says, what this means is if a person does something against the Torah, he takes his hand and he quits something. Who gives him the power to do that? If I would give you $1 million as a present, you said, thank you, Doba, and hit me over the head. I might think you were crazy, or you're a jerk. But he tolerates it. He gives us the power to to do the Avera. And he tolerates this. He lets us do the Avera. He lets us eat the Shahara. He gives us all any Avera that we do. He's giving us the power to do it. It's an amazing thing. And then they show how much he loves you. And also, like if you see like a 2-year-old having his mother, she doesn't go whack back. He's either hungry, tired, thirsty. Poor kid is like a mess. You know, I'm thinking about my grandson. He's going to start on this year, this week. And I'm like, to like put positive energy. Because I know, I'm afraid he's going to cry. And I know his mother's going to have, like, she's going to cry. But she's my first grandson. And I also think his mother's going to have a very hard time. But she have to tell her, like, she has to say, bye, sweetheart, and go, you know. But it's like, you're like, oh, I remember yeah. First day and I went home and I cried. Oh, yeah. So listen, this is example. Let's just try and get the day that we did the golden patch. Now it's one of the biggest errors, or the biggest errors that Jewish people did. Okay? If the man came right. Exactly. Yeah, so what's Hashem saying? Not you. The man came down. Same way as the man was coming down. Anyone hear something you can go in that and say? Some people took the man and gave it to him as a sacrifice. Chutzpah, like not normal. But what did Hashem do? The following day, man came down as usual. Like Hashem just like he bears embarrassment and then he uses silence. And people have learned this. Rabbi Nachman talks about this. If you get insulted, it's an 8 or so. It's a time to bow down. I just got insulted. Hashem. Please help Nachman. Nachman hasn't been how enjoy this guy and get a great teacher. You know, thank you. You know, every time you get embarrassed, it's a moment. It's a moment. Lose it. Don't just like. You know, so this is one of the, so next time somebody embarrasses you, you could say, oh, this is what we learned. Okay, we embarrass each other all the time. I'm sorry, I really just want to get this. Okay, and if you think Hashem can't take away, or you think Hashem, there's all these rules, like there's rules like free choice. Right, so Hashem can't take away. If I want to take my hand to smack you, Hashem can't make my hand freeze in midair because couldn't he? Of course. Hold on a second. Because then we wouldn't have free choice, but he did too, and he gives. That's one thing I love about this book too. He gives examples in the Tanakh, which is what he does a lot. And if you want to look it up, I see we're not going to have time. In fact, hold on a second. Yerabel, this whole sort of in the Nach, where he with the idols, and Hashem made his hands shrivel up. Yeah. It's like that's why kids like pretty numb, you know. So it's not like Hashem can't do that. Hashem bears the insult. He bears it. Actually, I'm going to the next week. Bears it, and he's completely patient. So this is what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be tolerant. There's something over here, and I wrote down to say. Whoever hears himself being cursed but remains silent becomes a partner of a fetish farmer. He hears the nations were mocking him in his presence. That's when David and Melch heard himself cursed, he too remained silent. Okay, so basically what we're talking about is that a Christian should be patient and kind even to those who use him or insult him. What? Okay. Anyone who silently endures curses of others is considered anyone, it says Medrash, anyone who endures, if you get inside, do this, you hear you get insulted and you just take it. They call this person a husband.
Even husband?
What?
Even if I like insult a husband and his wife.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Especially.
Right. He's considered husband. So that
You can create it as well.
yeah.
If you can do that, they can do it with anybody. Yes, that's what you can.
So people, so this is like. Oh, sure. I have teenage boys, and they're like one of them said to me, "Oh, so on Sundays you don't cook?" And Baruch Hashem, I listen to a lot of sharing and stuff like that on parenting and whatever. And so I said, first of all, I'm not feeling well. They knew it. So I could have gone to a place of, you little rat. I mean, no, I could have said, hello, I'm not feeling well. You know, I'm not feeling well. Have some toast, have some pizza and food. Leave me alone. Go down to I could have done that. But I said, first of all, there's a lot of food left over from Shabbos. We have salmon, we have rice, we have chicken, we have potatoes. Hello, we have a microwave. Second of all, I'm not feeling well. So I just bear the insult. It was very insulting. Oh, I see on some days you don't cook. You know, like. Right. Exactly. And teenage boys have like food. They eat and then about 10 minutes later they want food. You know. Somebody said the secret of child rearing is a lot of food and a lot of love. That's it. That's true love, you know. Okay, so
I think it's also our support. If somebody
for sure. Yeah, he said
if
that.
somebody is
100%.
it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%. Right.
Hashem wants us to endure it.
Yeah. And the thing is that what we're trying to say here is that Hashem does this. So Hashem's not saying, I'm too big for this. You know what I mean? Like Hashem could lower himself down to accept insults. And he gives us the actual co-op. He gives us the power to do this. Okay, the second, I want to try and get to the second one.
Wait.
Can we just do this and then you'll ask the question? Okay, so the second one is very similar. Okay, it says no say avon, which means ardent iniquity. Iniquity, what avon is means a transgression, a sin. Okay, this is the second one. It's called no say avon. Avon is the transgression, and the third one is going to say pesha. Pesha means an act of rebellion. It's different words for sins. It's a little bit confusing, okay? The second one is pardon. Right. And he says that this is greater than the first. Why? Because I once taught this in the bus Medrash, and I brought toys with me to show it. When we do a Devorah, we create a bad angel. It was like little bad angel. There was actually this kid's book which I did not like. I thought it was too scary. That every time that this kid lied, he got this angel, this bad person, and then he got, I don't like it. I think it's too scary. And then the big thing gets bigger and bigger, blacker and blacker. It's just a kid, you know, for us, yeah. And then when he gets true, it gets smaller and smaller, turns white again. Anyway, so when we do some murders, now this angel, this bad angel, needs to get nourished. Everything needs to get nourished. So this black angel wants to go to Hashem and says, nourish me. So Hashem could say, why should I nourish you? Go to the person who created you. What?
Exactly the kiddush out of
Sorry?
you don't kiddush out of that person.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So basically, he says that this bad angel goes to Hashem and nourish me. Why should I? He could say, why should I nourish you? Go to the one who created you. But if he goes to the one who created him, which is us, he could take his life. Yeah. So it's a very
I just missed something. What is it?
Who's left? The angel takes the person's left?
And it could. So it could.
Continues to do right.
Right.
I know, what I was trying to say, the same with the food, so that left angel needs nourishment.
Right.
And all of that angel is created.
Right.
So that's what I was trying to say.
Right, okay, okay. Thank you. I heard Kiddush. I heard Kiddush.
It says,
Nourish.
because if the bad angel went to the person who created him, he could, take that person.
He's gonna explain it more. So he said, what's the difference between this Mida and the first Mida? The first Mida, it said that you could forgive somebody, but there's still, like we talked about the picture that you broke over my head, right? It's still, the picture's broken. You could say sorry. I mean, I could not forgive you. You could do tshuva, but what about this? We still have a problem here. There's still a situation. Okay, hold on a second. I know it's connected, but I think it's going to get clearer. Okay, I hope. So the person might forgive an insult or injury done against him, but the damage still exists, waiting to be repaired. Now, in this time, when the guilty party does not repair the harm, and the victim controls his anger and bears the damage until it is repaired. So it's still a mess, and I'm not going, okay, very nice that you said that, but what about my vase?
So how do you fix
So either you can bring it to the glacier and get it fixed, you can buy a new one, but I'm not gonna be like, well, thanks a lot. I'm sitting here I'm not mad at you anymore, but I do have a rubber vase. No, I'm not mad at you, and I'm done. I'm finished. I'm gonna take up the vase, I'm gonna look at it and decide, you're okay, I love you, and it's here, and everything's fine, we're good. And now I'm gonna take the vase and I'm gonna go get it fixed. Now, I mean, maybe it's better with like a mess or something, because picturing a million little pieces. Or you know what, I saw the same vase at another store, very similar. I'm okay. Everything's okay. I'm not at the end of myself. So he says that if by the strict letter of the law, Hashem should say, go to the person who created you, but he doesn't do that. And then the destruction, this creature would immediately descend and take the life of the sinner, right? Or or punish him, whatever. So this is not what he does. Hashem bears the sin, and he endures it until one of three things happen. The sinner repents, does tshuva, and by that he gets rid of this creature, or Hashem nullifies it through, like we said, suffering or death, or the person dies and goes to Gehenna. Yeah, all these things are like really not, and this is what, I'm not going to go into this, but this is what Cain said, right? I don't know if you remember this. Cain said, is my sin too much to bear? Like, come on, Hashem, can't you handle this? So basically, this is the tremendous tolerance that God nourishes and sustains this evil creature created by the sinner until he repents. That's us, right? From this, man should learn to what extent he too should be tolerant and bear the yoke of his fellow and his evil, even though his transgressions are of such magnitude that the evil remains. In English, it said, one who looks the other way when wronged will have all his sins overlooked. For whom does Hashem forgive iniquity? For the one who excuses the sins of others. To forgive the sins of others. I'm fine. I know you wrote my thing. I really am fine. I know. I'm sorry. I know you go. You just go out there. I know you're going through a crazy time. You're one person. I know it has nothing to do with you, Esther. I'm fine. And then Shem goes, oh, you forgive? Oh, well, then I'll forgive you, Doba, when you mess up. Okay? Hold on. I have two more things to say, and then I'm done. If he sees someone who owes him money, oh, yeah, this is everything. Well, I was like, wow. If you see somebody, if you see somebody that owes you money, walking down the street this way, and the person's going, "We'll take owed you money," just going across the street. So that you don't embarrass them. Okay, and one more thing, and then I'd love to say, man should learn to be tolerant even if his neighbor offends him, which is anyone who lives in a building with neighbors, this happens all the time. They leave their garbage out and the cats come. Like, come on, why did you leave your garbage out? We know we have cats. You don't leave your garbage out. Or we have it all the time. People go wild to go ballistic. People send their kids to take their garbage, and then they can't reach the garbage bin, they leave it next to the garbage. It's disgusting. All these things, instead of getting all upset. And these things are like, hey, she's just on the go, she's so tired. She asked her kid to take it. She asked her older kids to take it, not the younger one. Exactly. So you can get really annoyed. And I have a friend who's on this. Why? Because she has high blood pressure. She said, I have to do this. So I go, she said, no, you have to do this. This is about this Shem. You have to do this because it's about this Shem. If there's traffic, if there's somebody who goes to you in front of the line, you can't just go, okay, my blood pressure, I have to go on a bit. No, that's no Deutsch. That's not why we do it. We do it because we want it on the line. Okay, so that's your homework, and I'm done. The homework is the next time you get some sort of abuse, and abuse is like, I don't mean like abuse, like very famous nowadays, right? Somebody uses you. Somebody insults you. Somebody, don't worry, it'll come off. Go home. Yeah, right. Somebody's like, whatever, and then you think about, okay, so what does Shem do in this situation? Basically, it's acting, emulating our Creator. And we know that our Creator is kind and good and loving, and that's, it's interesting because we call it the 13 attributes of mercy. I thought that mercy was one attribute of Hashem. Right? Like there's so many attributes, one of which is mercy. We have Devorah, we have so many attributes. But there's 13 different ways of showing mercy. Okay? So yeah, we did too, so that's good. Okay.
So good question.
Yeah.
First of all, like what you said, to forgive for we need to find experience. Like I have a person who never had the laws and the person can be children but that's not okay. Maybe she's mentally sick.
100%.
Maybe she's mentally sick. Maybe she has a problem. Find something or something. Sometimes people say something not because they mean it. Because they both move or something here, they just want to rush out.
You're going to see how you're going to
I know a person who said something with a smile, very, very quick. And she doesn't say it because she is just mean. And she wants to hurt me. I can forgive her, but she is not the same person in my eyes. She is just no person.
Can you avoid being near her? Can you avoid being near her? Can you not be near her? Just be somewhere else. Don't be near her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can forgive her, but
Right.
she is changed. She is not the same person in my eyes. She is completely.
Is the bookstore open right now?
Not with say bye-bye.
The bookstore open now?
It should be, but you might want to call Bonnie first to make sure she's there.
Right.
When you still do, I have these forms, I have them at home, but I don't know if the bookshop, I don't think we have any right now, but I'm gonna recommend that maybe you get it from someone else.
Or Elul, yeah. It's really, there's so much going on. It really should be removed.
So this person is like a snake. She's not the same as you. Not because sometimes people say something because they're upset or something, but sometimes they do it very